The last few years of music has seen a plethora of new artists that have made their way onto the scene. And in an age where music is now so easily accessible, it's especially difficult for these new musicians to stand out in the sea of emerging talent. While this is the case for a majority of these artists on the come up, one name in particular has been steadily creeping up the ranks. And although their sound isn't new by any means, they've managed to grow a fan base through their ability to be wholeheartedly themselves, progressively cultivating and perfecting their sound as they see fit, and leaving their mark on the music culture. Enough so to catch the attention of one of the biggest artists in the world and be invited to open for the most important tour of his career. So now you're probably wondering, who are they? Who is? This is Louie Pastel out of Compton, California. He's the one with the scar on his nose. He's also the tall one. And this is Felix, who's from South Central California. He's always wearing a bucket hat. Before coming together to form Paris, Texas, Louie and Felix were in high school when they started taking an interest in music production as well as rapping, with one of the first CDs Louie ever owned being Idlewild by Outkast, and Felix's being The Mouse and the Mask by Danger Doom. Although they knew about each other in high school, it wasn't until their time at El Camino Community College in 2013 that they would officially meet through their mutual friend Jesus. However, it wasn't an immediate connection.
What were your initial thoughts about each other?
I thought you didn't fuck with me.
I was just like, this is just the homie of my friend.
There's one point in time, I'll never forget this memory. Jesus left. It's me and him at a Taco Bell. And I'm like, this is like our black guy talking time. He goes, what are you talking about? He's like, you don't have to do that. And I'm like, oh, all right. And then he got silent for like 5 minutes. And he's like, yeah, I'm about to go talk to some hoes.
But over time, the two would grow closer through their passion for music, initially finding common ground through their shared interest of Florida rapper Rob Banks. 2014 saw the two playing small gigs at parties around LA as well as at art shows. Despite continually being booked together for shows, Louie and Felix had no intention of ever becoming a group, and still considered themselves separate artists at the time. But in 2017, they took the hint and decided to start working on music together for the first time. After experimenting with renaming themselves after every show, using names such as China, Illinois, and Hollywood, Florida, in 2018, they officially formed Paris, Texas, being partially named after the 1984 film Paris, Texas, directed by Wim Wenders. And in that same year, they released their first debut EP, I'll Get My Revenge in Hell. You'd think with them being brand new artists at the time, they'd want to follow up this EP with some other projects. But after this first EP, there was nothing. No new music, no videos. They'd actually scrubbed all traces of the EP and themselves from the internet, leaving only the SoundCloud version of the project up. The common consensus for this abrupt hiatus was that they used it as an opportunity to start over with a clean slate and reshape the narrative around themselves as a group and as artists. They used this time away to really hone in on their sound, and decided only to return once they felt they had something truly worth saying. That return came 3 years later in the form of their breakout single titled Heavy Metal, that gained a lot of praise online and catapulted the duo into the public eye. The single was followed up by their mixtape Boy Anonymous, that had other standout tracks such as Situations and Force of Habit. Things were starting to look up for Paris, Texas, and in 2022, they prepared to start work on their upcoming debut studio album, Midair. However, the sessions were unfortunately cut short due to the fact that Felix's father had passed away, which resulted in him having to step away from the project for a while, and for a time, the album found itself in a strange position in the creative process.
Bro, it feels like such a blur, but like we started it, it was wonky, some personal family shit happened. Then there was like a period we didn't do anything.
But eventually, the duo overcame these setbacks and in 2023 dropped Midair to critical acclaim, with most outlets praising the duo for their ambitious approach to the genre, cementing that they were more than capable of holding their own on a full-length cohesive album. This release was followed up by a number of notable performances, including festivals such as Coachella and Camp Flog Gnaw. Paris, Texas also opened up for Clairo, out of all people, on her Charm Tour in 2024, and more recently Tyler the Creator on his Chromacopia Tour, which is where I feel more people are discovering them for the first time. The duo is known for their high energy performances as well as visually captivating music videos. They tend to stray away from sticking to a specific genre and excel at experimenting with their sound. A big reason for this being that they don't like being bunched into a box, as many in their position have in the past. Seeing as oftentimes artists in their position are labeled as alternative rap, or simply rap rock, which they have expressed time and time again that those labels are an oversimplification of their work, and they reject the idea of people defining who they are or wanting them to represent certain things. Paris, Texas, at the heart of it all, is just two guys making music and having as much fun as possible doing it, which is a rarity nowadays, seeing as now in the era of streaming, most new artists and music listeners are entirely focused on numbers. Paris, Texas is a breath of fresh air in the music scene and remind us that music at the end of the day isn't defined by a specific genre or style. It's whatever you want it to be. This was a bit of a different video than usual. I wanted to find out more about one of my favorite groups at the moment and thought, why not make a video out of it? I've been really into them more recently ever since I saw them on the Chromacopia tour. If you guys have the chance, you should definitely check out their album Midair. I think that's my favorite project from them, which I feel is a very solid project all the way through. Some other songs I like by them are Girls Like Drugs, Infinite, and No Strings. Anyways, hopefully you guys liked the video. I'm planning to do more videos like this in the future, but for now, what do you guys think of Paris, Texas? What was your first time being introduced to them? Do you love their music and can't wait to see what's next? Or are they just not for you? Let me know.